So we're continuing with verse 260 of Radharat Suranidhi, finishing the verse. Shri Radha Rasikendra Rupagunavad Gitani Sam Shravayan Gunja Manjula Hara Barha Mukut Adyavedyam Chagrata Shama Preshita Pugamalya Navagandhya Adyaishcha Sam Prinayams Twat Padabja Nakachata Rasarade Magna Kadasyam. Translation. Oh, when will I become immersed in a lake of pure ras found at the lustrous toenails of Radha and Rasikendra Sham, as I sing songs to them about their glorious forms and qualities. And afterwards, I will lovingly offer them strings of gunja berries, peacock crowns, betel nuts, garlands, and fresh perfumes. And all these objects have been sent by the Surit Sakhi named Shama or Shamala. So we're discussing most of the verse yesterday, and one point left here. Sham Preshita, it's in the third line. Shama Preshita Pugamalya Navagandha. These are the items. But it's naming one particular Sakhi that brought all these items. So we have Radharani and the Ashtasakhis, but then there are also so many other Sakhis. The Ashtasakhis are Radha or Samasneya Adhika, or some are more favorable and loving to Radharani or more to Krishna. Then there's neutral Sakhis, Tatastha. Their bhav is, they like Krishna, they also like Radharani. And then there's Surit Sakhis, they're very friendly towards Radharani. And they're also Nayakas, they're also heroines who enjoy intimately and personally with Krishna, the Surit Sakhis. So what we're finding here is that Saraswati Pad, and absorbing himself in his Siddha Swarup as a Manjari, he's working, it's not a very good word, but he's serving in association with other Sakhis. In this case, he's receiving in one hand all the items for Shringar, Radharani Shringar, and for her decoration, and also for Krishna, which will be utilized after they have enjoyed their intimacies together in the Kunja Lila. Then there'll be some dressing up required and redecorating, brushing hair and decorating it, whatnot. So many Sakhis are working cooperatively. Someone has to collect the items and bring the items and offer the items and apply the items. And so, in this case, we're hearing about Shama Sakhi, and we described a little bit about her. And this is a principle in Manjari Seva, in the Vilap Kusumanjali by Raghunath Das Goswami. He's explaining sometimes you're serving in a group, and sometimes you're serving alone. Sometimes you're serving, so it can be Samasta Sakhis, Lalita Vishaka, Tulsi Manjari, Rupa Manjari, and your Guru Sakhi and yourself and your Siddha Swarup. In meditation as a sadhaka, or actual real time, and Prem Dham Vrindavan, in that far distant life when we attain spiritual perfection, trying in every life our best and hoping for the best, that we attain Prem in this life or next life. Keep on going, keep practicing. Once in New York, Prabhupada was sitting with his disciples And there was a handful of disciples in front of him, maybe 30 or 40. And Prabhupada said, look out the window. And he said, Gargamuni, how many people are in this city? And then Gargamuni said, if you take all the precincts together, precinct means area, Brooklyn and the Bronx and Harlem and Manhattan and all these places, about 20 million. And Prabhupada said, how many are sitting here? About 12. So we are the proverbial chosen few that's mentioned in the Bible, I'm told. And not that we're proud of that. We're proud of the fortune that we somehow received, which is causeless. Mercy, transcendental mercy is all causeless. But we're not proud of our privileged position. It brings responsibility. Position and privilege also brings... Position gives privileges, but brings lots of responsibility. So we have a responsibility, having received this great gift of Guru and Guru Diksha, from whomever, in whatever line or family, parampara, whatever you want to call it, we're all underneath the beautiful lotus feet of Nitai and Gauranga. The Pada, Nitai Pada Kamalam Koti Chandra Shushitala. Nitai Pada Kamalam Koti Chandra Shushitala. There's so much cool comfort there, cool and comfortable, safe and sound, happy and peaceful, in the shelter of Gaudiya Sampradaya. The perfect Ishtade, the perfect philosophy, the perfect sadhana, the perfect sadhya, and the perfect sangha. The only thing imperfect in the whole calculation is me. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Matsarya. Pick one, pick them all. We're offering them out today. Anybody want Kam? Take it. Take all my Kam, it's yours, I'll give you it all. Anyone want lust? Take it. Anyone want greed? Take it. I'm very charitable. You can take all my greed. You can take all my lust. You can take all my envy and anger. Take all of that. Just enjoy it all. You just take all these beautiful gifts and have a good time. I give you all my blessings. Ashirvad. And then what will be left? Cheto Darpana Marjan. A blissful, clean consciousness. Pure and clean heart and mind. Happy eyes. Happy heart. Happy Atma. Prasanatma. Krishna is telling in Gita. When one becomes Shuddh, or pure, it becomes Prasanatma. His Atma becomes Prasanna. Very satisfied, happy. But as I mentioned, because we are not just Vaishnavas, we are Gaudiya Vaishnavas. We receive the privilege of Vaishnavism as a category, and specifically Gaudiya Vaishnavism, and that privilege, and that position gives the responsibility to distribute it to others. This is Prem Dharma. Prem is effusive. Prem is expansive. Prem is unlimited. Prem is contagious. Prem is attractive. Prem is sweet. Prem is necessity of the moment, especially now in the age of hatred, bigotry, prejudice, terrorism and violence. This is the call of the times. If 2,000 years ago there was so much unnecessary animal slaughter in the name of yajna, now there's so much unnecessary animal slaughter in the name of swad, tasting, enjoying the taste of dead animals, flesh eaters. But 2,000 years ago Jesus preached to the people. It's love. God is love. Love God. Love your neighbor. Everywhere you read his teachings, his favorite word is love. Why? Because he was in a desert and people had gone crazy. Sense gratification and devata puja and yajnas to appease various traditional gods of their tribes and nation, innocently used for no reason. excessive slaughter of animals. It became very perverted, their execution of the various religious rituals. So stop all this violence, stop all this hatred to other living entities. No, like we say, nowadays you have some hand lotion. No testing on animals. This hand lotion has not been squirted in the eyes of innocent little mice and cats and dogs, puppy dogs, and caused them to go blind while we were testing whether it was good enough for your hands. That's called animal testing. So much violence and cruelty in this age. Hatred, violence, terrorism. Jesus would faint if he was trying to preach now. He says, hello, anybody ever heard? Hello out there. Has anyone ever heard about this word? Does it cease to exist? Love. Love. Prem, pyar, priti. I know whatever in your own language you have your local names for this feeling of sharing and giving and caring. Sharing, giving and caring, respecting, appreciating and honoring. What? These words are from 1792. Sharing, caring, honoring, appreciating. Get out of my way, man. It's gotta live. Bah. High speed, full speed. Just like my friend, he was looking at his Facebook and gloating over the screen. And I thought, wow, what movie star is he looking at? He's in a mobile shop. And he was proprietor, and his eyes were glued to the screen. I thought, he's a young man, so I thought, well, I can imagine what he's so attached to, meditating on. And I looked, and it was a motorcycle. I said, that's not so bad. And then on it said, speed, 299 kilometers per hour. Then 176 miles per hour. Some motorcycle, it looks like a racing motorcycle, but it was being commercially available now in Bombay. 50 lakhs or 20 lakhs or whatever. I say, what is this? Oh, I want to get that. I said, where are you going to take it? On Govardhan Frickle. Speed, fast. You get on there, go like a bat out of hell, and you'll be in hell in no time. Crash and Haribo. That madness. But here in the realm of the Sakhis, we're talking about cooperation, one Sakhi to another, and serving the center. Everywhere is center, nowhere is circumference. This is a famous phrase of Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami, Nityadamaka. Nityadamaka, he's entered the Nityadam of Radha Govinda Yugal, one of the great saints and philosophers and poet-philosophers of the Gaudiya legacy. And he coined this term to describe the nature of the Absolute. Everywhere is center, nowhere is circumference. Have to think about that, then you can understand the beauty of the phrase. Integration. In other words, in the spiritual world, there's millions of devotees, millions. But they're all interest. Their interest is one. Their center of interest is one. Their focal point of attention is one. Their heart's concern and thought and mental desiring and willing and thoughts is one. Eko Bahu Sham. Sham Santosh. Sham Anand. Sham Sukh. Sham. Let Krishna be happy, peaceful, satisfied, fulfilled with whatever I can do and whatever I can offer. It's not my interests. We have to take care of our country's interests and our family interests. This is a very common thing. Center of interest. So that everywhere is center, nowhere is circumference. Like a rock. You throw a rock in a lake. Doom. And the lake makes a circle and it expands. But then you throw another one and it won't be in the same place. So the circles of one rock are going to overlap with the circles of the second rock, because it's a different circumference. Circumference means this. So one rock is creating this circle in circumference and another. And these are each separate circles of interest, concern, care. My wife. What about all the other wives? Hell with them, I got mine. One's enough. My husband, my family, my Germans, my nation, we're great. Everybody else, burn them up. Or, we're from Arab countries, everyone else, finish them off. Or everyone has their circle of interest. So confliction. But in the spiritual world, there's only one circle, and everyone's in it. And what is it called? Rasmandal. Rasamandal. Everyone is in the Rasamandal. Yashoda, Raktak, Patrak, Payoda, then Amba, Kalimba. Everyone in all rasas, they're in one. Krishna is in the center of the Rasamandal, and all the devotees are in the center. Their hearts are they part their hearts in the center. There. They're fixed. Yashoda's fixed, Raktak, everyone's fixed on Krishna. Radharani, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And Krishna is thinking, Eko Bahu Sham, I am one, but they are Bahu. I am Ek, they are Bahu. They are many. And all of their love is deposited in me. And all their care, worry, anxiety, and difficulty is with me. 24/7. And how am I to reciprocate? I don't want to be criticized as being a liar. Because in Gita 4:11, I'm telling everyone, you love me this much, I love you this much. But how do I repay the love of millions and millions of devotees that love me unequivocally and unconditionally? I can't. Naparyeham. I'm indebted. I'll always be indebted to you. Can I hold your feet? Can I rub your feet? Can I rub your back? Can I offer you a garland? Anything I can do, somehow can I try to repay your love you've given me? The most popular picture that Gaudiya Vaishnavas love to buy is a picture of Radharani. And she's not alone. She's sitting on an asan, on a mandap, a dais, singhasan we say. But they don't usually use this term in Rasik Grant and this spiritual literatures of Rag Marg. So we're saying how the Sakhis cooperate. So in the commentaries in Stavavali and Bilakusamanjali, is sometimes the Sakhis are serving alone, and that's how we like it. We like to dress our Krishna, our Thakurji, ourselves. And sometimes we maybe go on vacation or we can't dress for some reason. We're off the altar, as a term that's used in the modern places. So then we have a girlfriend or husband, brother, whatever, dress Thakurji. But then we're lamenting, I missed today, I look forward. So everyone has their own Krishna. So Raghunath Das Goswami and Vilakusamanjali and all others that are giving books, handbooks for meditation, that's what I call them. Prarthana by Narottam Das Thakur Mahashaya. And Govinda Leelamrita, everywhere all these books are full of leelas and beautiful rasas and experiences and exchanges and seva. The foundation of everything is seva. The foundation of love is seva, and this is the kingdom of love. Prem Dham Vrindavan. So there the sevas are the greatest and the most unlimited and prolific sevas there. We think we're doing a lot of seva here. Gurudev, I'm really serving so much. Are you serving as much as Radharani's Kinkaris? 2 p.m. they take rest. While they're taking rest, they're thinking, okay, tomorrow I have to make garlands. Yesterday I made this, so I want to make that. So even there's no rest. There's no rest from seva. Seva is nitya seva and nitya dham and your nitya sarup siddhi. Even so-called quote-unquote swapna, or resting is not resting. It's planning. It's planning. So you take rest at 2, and you're planning what garlands, and I picked all the betel nuts from that tree over by the Yamuna yesterday, but we need more today. Where will I go? I noticed some betel nuts ripening on that other tree near Govinda Ghat. Yesterday I went to Dir Shamir Ghat. Now I'll go to Govinda Ghat. There's a nice betel nut tree there. So then you wake up. And what time is it when you wake up? 3:30. 90 minutes. What sadhaka are we all familiar with who slept 90 minutes a day? Does anyone know? Vande Rupa. I'll give you a hint. Vande Rupa Sanatana. Ragu Yago. Ragu Yago means a pair, yuga. Pair of ragus. So 2 and 1 are included there. Rupa, and then it's obvious. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami Padaki Jai. He was sleeping 90 minutes a day because he's Tulsi Manjari. He was totally absorbed in Sarupa Vesh, Rati Manjari. And sometimes totally absorbed and then coming out, waking up, coming into Bhaya Chit, external consciousness, and then writing about his experiences in Seva and how Radharani reciprocated with him and handed him and rewarded him. He was serving so nicely that Radharani said, here, when she was, Tulsi Manjari was changing Radharani's dress in the morning and Yavat and offering her and fastening on her a new kancholi because, redressing in the morning and then taking the old one. And Radharani said, here, Tulsi, you take this, it's yours. So there's one verse that says, maybe it's Radharasa Nidhi, Radharani with her own hand, Kara Prasadi. Was Radharani, when Radharani with her own hands will she give me her Prasadi Vastra? When with her own hands will Radharani give her Prasadi Vastra? Such a beautiful, being pleased with me for my service. Reward! Everyone wants a reward. The child wants a reward. The adults want, the wife wants a recognition or wants a reward, and so does the husband. Oh, you never appreciate me. Day and night I'm slaving over here. And this is like old-fashioned type. I'm working so hard, but no appreciation, no thank you, this, or I'm working and you're working, but you never appreciate my just being with you. I'm doing you a big favor, don't you realize? And because husbands take it for granted, you're my wife, you're supposed to just be there. Well, I may run away one day, then what? Well, then I'll appreciate that you were pretty good. As they say, you don't know what you have until you don't have it. So the Manjaris, they get rewarded. And one shloka like that, I believe it's maybe it's Radharasa Nidhi. By Saraswati Pad, that one line he said, when will Radharani with her own hands, and it says, not only does it say she will give me Swakara Vastra, Prasadi Vastra, Dadati or Dadami, whatever, when with your own hands, but it says Pranaya Dadati, when will you lovingly give me? Not like, oh, here, take this, here's my old, like throwing some prasad or something. It says she will lovingly give it to me. Swakara means her own hand. So for those sadhakas that are cultivating and aspiring for the seva, the post of seva, and reading such verses and reflecting on them and praying in the same mood of Saraswati Pad or Raghunath Das, kada, kada, kabe, kabe, kada, kada. Sanskrit is kada, Bengali is kabe. Oh, Radharani, when? Oh, what a lucky day that would be. Like you can count the days on your hand, if you can count at all, that your Guru Maharaj gave you his personal prasadam. Ever? It's very rare, isn't it? Even here on this plane of sadhaka, Sadhaka Vesh, absorbed as sadhakas in practicing our sadhana bhajan, Shravanam Kirtana Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam, Guru Seva Vaishnava Seva. When does Guru so intimately and so confidentially and so personally recognize us and call us forward and give him something? It's very touching, unforgettable. You may live, that moment may live in your heart forever. That momentary exchange of love, dadati pratigrinati, bhunte bhojayate jeva. This is priti lakshana. Guru Shishya Sambandha Priti Lakshana. The loving feelings and exchanges in the relationship of Guru and disciple. They're very tender, touching, memorable, tender, touching, memorable, sweet, and unforgettable. This is the kripa in a very tangible way. It's rare. Once my guru, my Vaish guru, I've known for 20 years, and once it's rare, I know myself. And I'm sitting right opposite him, only a few inches opposite. We're sitting on the same, just next to each other on a blanket, looking at me. And he had a shutter, not this one like this, on his shoulder. It was just there, I was just lying there and we're talking. And I'm asking questions, Harikata. Then, I don't know what, but he went like this. And he took it off his shoulders and lovingly put it on my shoulders and went like this. I was like, wow, Jai Gurudev. So this is for every little expression. So imagine how one would impress someone. Because what happened was Saraswati Pad was sitting on the banks of Yamuna, Kaliyadaha, in his bhajan kutir. And he's writing this, and he's doing his bhajan, having these experiences, these sportis, these visions, these deep perceptions and unveilings of Radha and Krishna's pastimes and intimate exchanges. In his meditation or his total absorption of samadhi, you could say, then waking up, coming out, oh, that was so grand and so majestic and sweet and intimate and endearing. I have to write this down. And he gets his stylus and he writes in Sanskrit on some these whatever they call it, palm leaves, these shlokas. He writes in Sanskrit and describes, this is his biography of his bhajan experiences. Like sometimes people keep a diary of experiences they had, what japa diary. They have these, keep a diary of your japa. Oh, today I chanted 3 rounds in my sleep and 5 rounds half asleep. That's 8. Then 8 and 4 rounds driving to the work and 4 rounds coming back. Jai-ho! 16 rounds. But I'm very clever. I'm more clever than most devotees because I took 1 tulsi bead and I got some epoxy glue and I put it on the steering wheel. So when I'm driving, I just, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. I chanted on tulsi. Did you chant on tulsi? Yeah. It's glued to my steering wheel, One little bump, It's better than not chanting. It's funny, we're laughing, but it's not the best. But it's not bad either. Who's doing that? Who's making that much effort or that's sincere? He's doing the best he can. What can he do? Life is like that. Who has any time in the so-called modern age of free time and robots and machinery and high tech? What's the result? People have less time to themselves, less free time, and less time for their families than they did 50 years ago. So this is the principle that's Radharani rewarded them. So this verse is explaining, Shamsaki, she was happy to do her service of collecting the Gunjamala from the Adivasis in the jungle, the Pulinda women, Bringi and whatever their other names are. Bringi means fat female bumblebee. Bringi. So that's the name of one of the characters, one of the players in Krishna's Leela. Bringi, the Adivasi. The Pulinda women means Adivasi, means you say aboriginals, living in the jungle people. Not very pretty, not very handsome, but they're strong and they're tough. And they climb around there and pick up all the gunjas and get the kasturi and chandan trees and all the things that are necessary for Radharani Sringar. Kasturi we call musk and all these things. So they have a very crucial role to play in the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So Shyamasaki met them, said, oh, hey Bringi. So funny. Just like Krishna's one calf has a pet calf, Vatsa. Vatsa means baby cow. Vatsa, guy, go, G-A-U, go or guy. And Vatsa, and his name, her name is Tungi. Tungi means very concentrated, like Tunga Vidya, concentrated knowledge. So Tungi, very sweet names, Tungi. So they cooperate. There's cooperation. There's so many varieties, as I mentioned. So and what is the effect of this? Because he's explaining. He says, "Oh, when will I?" He said, "I want to do this service. I want to cooperate with Shyamasaki and dress you after you've enjoyed your love dalliances in the Kunja Griha, and now you require my seva, and I'm serving you and dressing you. And what's the result of this? That by doing this, I'm drowning." He says, "Magana." He says, "When will I drown? In what? In a lake, Radhe, like we have Kali Rad. Rad means lagoon. Actually means lagoon in English, but it's the main river is flowing, and then it's flowing so fast. If there's any kind of cut in the land, any erosion of the banks and makes a little inlet, then some portion of water goes in there, and it's very forceful, it becomes bigger and bigger, it becomes a lake on the side of the main flow of the main river. That's called a Haradhe. H-R-A-D-E, Haradhe, Harad. So he's comparing the result. This is the result of seva, that I'm following in this. He says, Twat padabja naka chata. Just by seeing, I'm serving you in so many humble, required, necessary ways, and meanwhile I'm following, just seeing the glimmer of your toenails, naka, your toenail, of your lotus feet. I'm becoming immersed, drowned in a pool or a lake of rasa radhe. Radhisham. Becoming drowned in a lake of ras. So this is the effect of seva. And we see in the Chaitanya Charitamrita describing Lord Nityananda, Dauji, Balaram, Nityananda and Gaur Lila. He was so much absorbed in Sevananda. There's one Bengali shloka that says it. He was always relishing Sevanand. Sev Anand. We say Ananda. But the A is left off in general pronunciation. Sevanand. So he represents the principle of seva. Ananta Shesh and Balaram and Nityananda. So many forms and expressions. Ananta Shesh means no limit. There's no limit to his seva. There's unlimited services rendered by Balaram and Ananta Shesh and Nitai. And what does he experience by doing all that seva? Bliss. And so the Manjaris are also experiencing Rasa Radhe Magana. When will I taste that? Of course, that sometimes we hear discussion in devotees, they say, oh, you should not enjoy your service, just do your service. You shouldn't enjoy it. You shouldn't get happiness from it. You should do any kind of slavery or any kind of drudgery and be happy with that. But this is not quite right. We don't find this anywhere in the realm of Goloka Vrindavan. It's not true that, like they might say, well, how do the Manjaris enjoy? Because they're in Madhura Ras, they're in this conjugal loving relationship with Krishna, but as Radharani's servants. And whatever they're enjoying, the experience, and sometimes Krishna even embraces them or kisses them. He interacts with them sometimes intimately, momentarily. And even there's verses where they say, Radharani, you may cleverly arrange. I know that you're behind all this. Radharani, I know you're behind all this. You may cleverly induce Krishna to embrace me. And you may orchestrate a whole thing beforehand. Hey, listen, Shyam, when that Manjari comes today, I want you to do this. And there's a verse like that in Radharasa Nidhi. I think we covered it last year. So then the Manjari comes and Krishna says, oh, you're that Manjari? You're that very fortunate maidservant of Radharani? You have that privileged position of always being with Radharani in her bedroom, and you bathe her and you dress her and you move everywhere with her and you're always with her in day and night. And I don't have that fortune. You're so fortunate. He said, I want to show my appreciation. So then Krishna starts, and he says he firmly embraces the Manjari, he kisses her, and he intoxicates her with the wine of arrows. He says, Surata Madirata. Surata Madirata. Madira means wine. Madira. Surata means erotic. Wow. Erotic pleasure. That means Happy New Year. That's Diwali is Happy New Year. So people are a little excited to set off the firecrackers. Boom. So Radharani, I know you may arrange for Krishna to tightly embrace me. And it said Adhika Sneha. And in the verse it says, and he may show me excessive, Adhik, like Adhik Mas. He may show me Adhik Sneha, excessive affection. He may shower me with kisses and Ashlishiva Parvatam Panashtamam. He may break me with his embrace and intoxicate me with the wine of arrows. But still, Radharani, you should know that my mind never moves from the pleasure of serving your lotus feet. My pleasure is serving your lotus feet. Because all of us have the experience also in our material world of, we may be physically doing something, but our mind is not there. Like, you know what I mean? Even to that extent, on the most intimate exchanges, it may be going on for various different motivated reasons of various parties, and we may not be mentally there at all. So the Manjaris are saying, okay, Radharani, this is all you're doing. I didn't seduce Krishna. I didn't cast sidelong glances at him. And he didn't have any particular interest in me until you induced him. You hatched out this plan before I came. Oh, Krishna, let's have some fun with this Manjari. They do like that. So that's described. So let's have some fun and watch what she does. So then they watched. I mean, Krishna wasn't watching. He was too busy playing his part. And Radharani was watching her Manjari and appreciating her loyalty and her steadfast dedication to the unbreakable Akhanda seva of Radharani's lotus feet, the unbreakable bondage of serving Radharani's lotus feet. Even if you're swept off your feet by Krishna, you won't give up your desire and feelings to serve the lotus feet of Radharani. So this is the Sakhis enjoy. It's saying, I'll be immersed. I'll fall in a lake of bliss. We see in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it's describing Dasyarati in the Dwarka Leela, and there was who was it? It's Krishna's Sarati Daruka. They had driven the chariot somewhere with Krishna, and they were talking. Krishna was talking with some other people, whatever. And Daruka picked up a chamar, because he does more than just drive a chariot. When he's not driving a chariot, Daruka does other things too. So he was fanning Krishna, Dwarkadish, and he was starting to feel ecstatic. And he was, I'm feeling so much ecstasy by seeing my Lord and fanning his beautiful form. And I'm becoming overwhelmed. I'm praying that this ecstasy will go so I don't drop this fan and stop my service. That verse is there in the Dasyarati description. But in the Sakis and Manjaris, that's it. Well, the Sakis, they forget, they lose everything. They go murchita. When they're with Krishna, they faint sometimes. This is the last symptom of astic sattvic vikar, transformations of astic sattvic, is pralaya. Pralaya means death, devastation or death. But that's not anukulya for loving exchanges. It's not favorable for loving exchanges. If you're embracing your lover and they're feeling so much ecstasy, oh, I love you so much, and they die in your arms. Huh? What is this? Where'd you go? Oh, no, that's very anticlimactic and very, the epitome of bliss and the epitome of agony all in 1 second. So that doesn't happen there. So it translates, pralaya translates as morchita, they faint. Hair standing on end, trembling, crying, vaivarnya, the changing of the bodily color, and then fainting. Sudipta, the final pitch, the sudipta vikara, the utmost transformation due to intense loving ecstasies, which are experienced only in the Madhura Rasa of Radha and Krishna and Vrindavan, the fullest expression of all the different bhavas and exciting reactions created therein. But the Sakis, they faint. But the Manjaris, they're relishing. It says, Rasa Radhe Magana Kadar Syam Aham. When will I become submerged and immersed in that lake of ras, of blissful Ananda Ras, Ananda Prema Ras? Why what? While I'm serving, I won't faint. I won't drop the Gunjamala. When I'm tying the Gunjamala or offering you the Gunjamala, the tie on Krishna's Mor Mukut, on his peacock crown, I won't drop it. I won't become dysfunctional, immobile. They contain themselves. They're immersed in magana, they're immersed in ecstasy, but then they control it. They don't submit to it. So as it's told in Chaitanya Charitamrita in Adi Leela, chapter 4, because the Manjaris are Bhav Tadatmya, the Kinkaris, servants of Radharani, they never forget their seva. There's an example in Govinda Leelamrita and Kunja Bhanga Leela, when Radha and Krishna are waking up in the Kunja, and Nidhivan or Anivan, where they're resting, and then it says here, they're gazing mutually at each other. You see this description in Govinda Leelamrita. Radha and Krishna are looking lovingly in each other's eyes at that sweet, tender moment upon arising after an entire night of lovemaking and intimate exchanges. And then some short, brief rest, and then having vilas in the dream, having pastimes in the dream, and then they wake in the morning and look at each other. And then again, they succumb to love. And all the Sakis feel very blissful. And all the Sakis, Lalita, oh look, Krishna, they're supposed to wake up and leave the Kunja. Kunja Bhanga means breaking your pastimes in the Kunja. And they're supposed to run to Yavat. Radharani runs to Yavat and Krishna to Nandagan. But again, they've fallen into this ocean of loving exchanges. And the Sakis are saying, oh, this is wonderful. And they forget everything about getting up and running home before the sun catches everyone on the spot. But the Manjaris, and Brinda Devi is so worried because she's orchestrating the whole flow and movement of the Leela. And she's very worried. So Brinda Devi looks at Rupa Manjari with great anguish in her eyes, like, Rupa Manjari, we have to do something. No one's doing anything. The Sakis are just so happy and blissful that Radha and Krishna are together intimately again and forgot the world again and submerged again in their own intimate exchanges. But we're the Sakis, and of course she's also a Saki. She's Krishna Sneha Adik. Brinda Devi is a Saki. But she's taking care of this seva here. So the Manjaris, they all get together. They don't succumb to the loving ecstasy. And then they arrange to do their different services. No matter how much happiness and ecstasy they may feel by serving and being with Radha and Krishna, they never lose it. The Manjaris never forget their service or seva need, or the seva needs of the moment. And in Adi Leela, I was explaining chapter 4, in Krishna's Kaviraj, and who would know better than he? Because who is he in the spiritual world? What is his spiritual Siddha-swarup identity? He's one of the Ashtamandris. He's the 8th Goswami. 7th Goswami is Lokanath Goswami, Manjari Sakhi, and then the Manjari. And then the 8th Goswami is Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami, who is Kasturi Manjari. So Kasturi Manjari is writing the shlokas there in Adi Leela describing the intensity of love and joy and happiness that's felt by Radharani's Sevites and servants. It says that the love that the Manjaris are feeling, it says Sakhis, but it means the actual Manjaris, because they're so much absorbed in every moment seva. It's millions of times more than what Radharani's feeling. Because all of bhavas and ecstasies that Radharani's feeling are directly and fully reflected and transmitted into the hearts of Radharani's Manjaris, her Priya Kinkaris, and they're feeling that Mahabhav, that Divyan Mahabhav, everything that Radharani feels it's with them, it's for them, they're relishing. Then, plus, all the unlimited happiness of serving Radha and Krishna, serving Krishna and Radha together. So it's millions of times. Krishna enjoys the bliss of being with Radharani. She enjoys the bliss of being with Krishna. But the Manjaris enjoy all the bliss that Radharani's experiencing, which is all the bliss of Krishna, and plus the bliss of serving each one of them, and plus the bliss of serving both of them. So it says millions of times more happiness. And millions of times more happiness by serving. And Krishna, he's Sarvagya. Sarvagya means all-knowing. He's omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent, and all-powerful and all-pervading. Sarvagata. But he's seeing and he's understanding. They're happy. They're relishing so much happiness and joy. And what to speak of Radharani? I'm loving her 100%. She's loving me 100%. But her experience is 10,000% more than mine. I'm totally attracted. I'm mesmerized. I'm hypnotized. I'm captivated. How can I relish this happiness, this Radha Pranaya? And this Madhurima, Radha Pranaya Madhurima, this intense sweet love that she's experiencing from me. She's drinking this nectar liquid, this ras from my heart. What is it like? I don't know. I'm bewitched and captivated. So then it becomes Mahaprabhu. So I can experience something of the ecstasy of Radharani's Mahabhav. Rasaraj Mahabhav Mahaprabhu. This is his name. So this is the basic conclusion of this verse, 260. When will I merge in the rasa lake of the splendor of Radha, Rasi Kendra? Kendras, lotus toenails. There's an ocean of ras just in serving their feet. Just see, when Krishna serves Radharani's feet, he starts trembling. He's holding the paintbrush and he's trying to... And Radharani says, Krishna, you can't do this very well. You know, all the line on my foot is all going crooked. And with Radharani's foot, it's half covered with red lac. And she pushes Krishna away. She's sitting on a dais with her right foot, she pushes Krishna's chest, pushes him away. He says, Rupa, come and do this. Rupa, come paint my feet. Show him how to do it properly. He's a novice. He doesn't know how to do this. And Krishna's everywhere in poetry and Shastra. Krishna is known as Kalanidhi. Kalanidhi. Nidhi means a treasure house of Kala, an ocean of artistic talents. Kala. Kalanidhi. Kalavati Radha, Kalanidhi Sham. Kalavati and Kalanidhi. Here he can't even paint a red line on Radharani's foot because he's experiencing so much ecstasy. So she pushes him. Have you ever seen murtis of Krishna? Ashtadhatu murtis when you buy in Loy Bazaar. In the old days, I don't know now. Now they're making everything so fast they don't want to take the extra 2 minutes to do it. But they used to carve. There used to be a carving of one footprint in the chest of the deity. Have you ever seen a murti like this? Still they're doing? No, because they're lazy. It's all money. It takes a little more time. But this is tradition. So the Vaidhi sadhakas, they say, oh, this represents, because I've inquired from those following Vaidhi Marg, some acharyas, and they said this represents the footprint of Bhrigu Muni, who kicked Dwarkadish in the chest when he was doing a parikshit, a Bhagavat pariksha. He was examining who is the topmost form of Bhagavan. Is it Shiva? Is it Brahma? Is it Vishnu or Krishna? So he went and he kicked Lord Vishnu in the chest when Vishnu had his head on the lap of Lakshmi Devi. Radharasudanidhi ki jai. Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Shah.